22 years have passed since the Armenian invasion of Azerbaijan's Aghdam region. Azerbaijan is in talks with Arab countries, the United States and Russia on exports of weaponry. Azerbaijan's Karabakh Football Club advances to the third qualification stage of the UEFA Champions League, will face Scottish Celtic.
Azerbaijan is our reliable and strategic partner in the energy field, and we want to take this partnership further. Azerbaijan has the potential to become one of the EU's major commercial partners in the region. The EU is already Azerbaijan's main trade partner and one of its most important investors. We have discussed how best to move our relationship forward through an ambitious new bilateral agreement.
President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, made the remarks during a press conference with Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev. He said that he clearly stated this in Armenia 2 days ago. The EU supports the OSCE Minsk Group. The status quo in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict is unacceptable for me and the European Union.
The EU and its member states have not recognized Nagorno-Karabakh. The status quo is unsustainable, and the peaceful resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict remains a priority for the European Union. I look forward to continue strengthening our important relationship in the coming years, and hope my visit, Mr. President, my visit today has contributed to the same.
In turn, President Ilham Aliyev said that Mr. Tusk's visit to Azerbaijan is of great importance in terms of developing relations between Azerbaijan and the European Union. Azerbaijan-EU relations are developing, President Aliyev said. Over the years, a productive relationship has been formed between Azerbaijan and the EU. Today, we discussed regional issues, including ways of resolving the Armenian-Azerbaijani Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. I talked to him about the process of negotiations, gave information about the history of the conflict.
Azerbaijan-Nagorno-Karabakh, history of the conflict. The conflict lasts for more than 2 decades. Nationally recognized part of Azerbaijan, Nagorno-Karabakh, and 7 other districts of Azerbaijan are under Armenian occupation for more than 20 years. United Nations Security Council adopted for it to the benefit of all the people of the region of an aggressor to start the occupation of the lands, and as soon as the occupation starts, I think the process of normalization of relations between Azerbaijan and Armenia can also start, which connects.
We hope that the invader will face more pressure for returning Azerbaijani territories and completing the negotiations process. In the future, we will be able to talk about normalizing relations. Azerbaijan's territorial integrity is as a valuable notion as the territorial integrity of other countries, he said. President Ilham Aliyev dismissed the Armenian president's remarks made during the press conference with the European Council President that Azerbaijan is allegedly far from democracy. The Armenian president cannot talk about democracy, President Aliyev said, reminding of the killings of people during the elections held in Armenia in 2008. The president said that the international community must clearly distinguish between the invader and the country that was subjected to occupation. The aggressor should be brought to justice. Keeping the lands under occupation, Armenia isolates itself from regional cooperation, Azerbaijan and its neighbors. As a result, comprehensive poverty reigns in Armenia. President Aliyev reminded of the causes of the conflict. The Armenian occupation resulted in ethnic cleansing and the Hojalı genocide. 20% of Azerbaijani territory was invaded. The Azerbaijani people were expelled. They destroyed our historical and religious monuments. All these facts are reflected in the reports of the OSCE fact-finding missions. The president noted that unlike Armenia, Azerbaijan is a multi-ethnic, multi-confessional country. Members of all religions and creeds reside in Azerbaijan, and they are citizens of Azerbaijan, he said. The president said Donald Tusk's visit to Azerbaijan indicates the importance of the Azerbaijan-EU relations and regarded it as very important for the EU-Azerbaijan relations. Noting the long-standing cooperation between the EU and Azerbaijan, President Aliyev said We see good positive development in the EU-Azerbaijan partnership. We have close political ties, and we will develop them in the future, the President said.
Issues of bilateral relations, regional issues, and we see a good positive developments in EU-Azerbaijan partnership.
Touching upon trade ties, President Aliyev said Azerbaijan and the EU are very good trade partners. Azerbaijan conducts almost half of its foreign trade with the EU countries, which are its main investors, President Aliyev said. Over 50% of investments in Azerbaijan are made by the EU. The President said that issues of energy security were also discussed.
Azerbaijan, Georgia and Turkey, and thus connects Europe and Asia. This will be a new Silk Route, which will increase the volumes of mutual. We are now together with our neighbors in the phase of diversification of routes, but most important is diversification of supply sources. And Azerbaijan, with its resources, infrastructure.
Regarding the TANAP project, envisaging transportation of gas from Azerbaijan's Shahdeniz field to the western borders of Turkey, the President said the construction of TANAP, a part of the southern gas corridor, began this March, and the project is being realized on time. TANAP is the project of energy security, and today energy security cannot be separated from national security, the President said, stressing TANAP's role in energy diversification. President Aliyev also said that Azerbaijan has good potential for cultural and humanitarian cooperation with Europe. He noted that Azerbaijan is already known in the world as an international center of multiculturalism, and this could also be the format of cooperation between Azerbaijan and the EU. 22 years have passed since the occupation of Azerbaijan's Aghdam region by Armenia. On July 23, 1993, Armenian invaders occupied most of the territory of Aghdam, 882 square kilometers of 1,094 square kilometers, one city and 80 villages. Over 6,000 people died during the fighting in Aghdam, and about 128,000 people became internally displaced persons. Most of the local residents have been settled in regions across Azerbaijan. Moreover, Azerbaijan underwent financial damage worth over $6.1 billion as a result of Aghdam's occupation. The Armenians destroyed a number of historical monuments, cemeteries, residential areas, hospitals, and facilities in Aghdam. Armenia continues looting the cultural heritage of Azerbaijan in defiance of the Hague Convention for the Protection of Cultural Property in the event of armed conflicts and also a Paris Convention on Cultural Valuables. The conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia emerged in 1988 when Armenia made its territorial claims. Since the ensuing war, Armenian armed forces have occupied 20% of Azerbaijan's territory, including Nagorno-Karabakh and 7 surrounding regions. A fragile ceasefire has been in place since 1994. Armenia has not yet implemented the UN Security Council's 4 resolutions on its pullout from the occupied territories.
It seems that the worst is yet to come in Armenia. The economic situation in the country continues to worsen with a collapsing national currency and rapidly increasing state debt, other news reported. The hopes for some kind of normalization are decreasing day by day. Despite the Armenian government's good-for-nothing optimism, the country's economy is expected to decline further. Armenian media has reported that Armenia's economic growth will be even lower than the expected 1%, as the decline in oil price continues, leading to new problems in the Russian economy. The Armenian economy, which is dependent on transfers and remittance from its big brother, is also indirectly taking a hit from this fall. Such a situation in turn gives ground to say that private transfers from Russia to Armenia will continue to decline. The experts believe that this trend does not bode well for the Armenian economy. The government predicted a rate of growth of only 1% for this year. However, this calculation is based on a steady level of transfers. The newspaper Haykakan Zhamanak writes that this forecast is followed by the lifting of the international sanctions on Iran after a final nuclear deal. This is expected to lead to negative consequences for the expected revenues from the sale of Russian oil, and in turn to a decline in remittance from Russia to Armenia. Thus, such a continuing persistent decline in remittance can lead to a situation whereby the growth of the Armenian economy will be lower than the expected 1% after the recession in Russia. The economic situation in Armenia has worsened due to the decrease in money transfers into the country. Money transfers from Russia to Armenia decreased by 40%, which consequently led to a significant drop in government's revenues. In addition, the foreign trade continues to experience unprecedented decline in Armenia. The latest data released by Armenia's National Statistics Service showed that foreign trade is the most disappointing figure among its economic indicators. Foreign trade turnover in Armenia, according to updated statistical data, decreased by 29.8%, totaling about $1.9 billion in January-June 2015, when compared to the same period of time in 2014. Armenia's National Statistical Service said the volume of exports during the reporting period decreased by 11.2% compared to the same period in 2014. In the meantime, the volume of imports decreased by 36.2% during the reporting period. As a result, the negative balance of foreign trade in January-June amounted to $683.1 million. Against the backdrop of these desperate figures, optimistic forecasts by the Armenian Prime Minister come to mind. Prime Minister Hovik Abrahamyan has repeatedly stated that the Armenian economy will experience economic growth by several percentage points in the current year. However, the ever-deteriorating indicators of Armenia's woeful economy leave no room for Abrahamyan's optimism.
Azerbaijan is in talks with a number of countries on exports of ammunition of various calibers, RPG-7V2 grenade launchers and sniper rifles with several Arab countries, and optical shooting marks with the United States and Russia. Minister of Defense Industry Yaver Jamalov was quoted as saying in an interview with Azeri Defense magazine, "Lately, we have received an offer from Iraq. We will export to Iraq 500 RPG, 500 mine launchers, as well as their ammunition. I hope that as a result of the ongoing talks, we will make significant achievements in the area of exports in 2015, the minister said. According to Jamalov, the Ministry of Defense Industry carried out exports worth $123 million in 2013 and $100 million in 2014, considering that the ministry was established just 10 years ago and that the first 3-4 years was a period of formation. These indicators achieved over a short time may be considered a success of the ministry," he added. A solemn ceremony to mark the 140th anniversary of the national press of Azerbaijan has been held in Baku. The event was attended by state and government officials, MPs, as well as well-known media representatives. A video on the development history of Azerbaijan's national press was demonstrated at the event. The awards were presented to the media representatives, who were honored with the Azerbaijani president's decrees. Azerbaijani President's aide for public and political affairs, Ali Hassanov, presented the awards. Caspian International Broadcasting Company received the High Award of the Press Council for bringing the truth about Azerbaijan to the world community. Azerbaijan's Karabakh Football Club has made its way to the third qualification stage of the Champions League. The Azerbaijani club from Aghdam beat the Rudar team of Montenegro. In the return match of the second qualification stage, Karabakh sealed a 1-0 win. The only goal was scored by Reynaldo in the 57th minute after Ansi Agoli's pass. After a 0-0 draw during the first match in Baku, coach Gurban Gurbanov's team was victorious based on the results of the two matches. Karabakh's next rival will be Scotland's Celtic, which has defeated Stjarnan of Iceland. The first match will be held in late July in Glasgow and the return match in early August in Baku.